Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming. This is going to be another Dragonheir SilentGods video. In today's video, we're going to talk about another one of the chief challenges from Season 4. And this time around, we're going to talk about the Shinnah chief challenge, where we will need to use fire damage to try and get the best, the best damage possible. Now, I do believe that when it comes to the kit that like this boss has, it's arguably one of the easiest ones to do, right? Because what this one does is pretty straightforward. It has the Ice Blast, so it says ignores the target's defense by 35% when attacking an enemy inflicted with frost. Then on the battle skill, pretty much does shoots 3 projectiles. Okay, so it's a little bit different than what the normal Ice Blast one has. But it shoots 3 projectiles and then lands frost for 5 seconds. Same thing on the second one, and then on the ultimate, cast a spell for 6 seconds, during which deals cold damage to random enemy every 0.6 seconds with a 50% chance of inflicting frost for 5 seconds. So pretty much, if you really feel like you have a problem surviving and this frost is a bit of a problem, which gives it the ignore defense, you might want to bring somebody that does a cleanse on your team, right? Somebody does maybe a cleanse on a battle skill more regularly. However, I do believe that you should just pretty much ignore the frost mechanic, as it's not that big of a deal, right? It's not a big of a deal. I haven't had a massive problem dying against this boss, and like, for example, let me show you the team that I'm using, but obviously can have a ton of variations. So if you look over here, the team that I'm using, let me just put it a little bit slower, is Shinnah as the first one, who tanks like most of the hits. Then we have Felicity, Tunnel Nun, Erich as the wild people, and then I did bring in Garion. And the reason why I actually brought in Garion is for this buff that you see over here, right? Garion is one of the only ones, if not actually the only one, at least that I have, from the fire and poison pairing that has some sort of a healing over time, which allows me to use the horn on him, right? Having the Solar King's horn means that I do have the opportunity to get that buff up, right? 15% more damage on everybody in my team, which should allow me to do a little bit more damage. However, the weird and I guess sad thing, at least that I've noticed, is even though this boss is pretty easy, right? Surviving shouldn't be much of a problem. Like, I don't even have an ancestral protection. Actually, I might have it on Garion, but I don't think so. Maybe I have it on Garion. But the problem that I've noticed with this one is trying to do a ton of damage is extremely hard, right? It's so easy to actually deal with the boss. It's just one thing that you might have to be careful with is, or like, you might need to rerun it a few times, it's the RNG of how the ultimate happens, right? Because this one is like 12 hits, they go on, or like 10 hits, something like that, they go on all of your people and it goes at random. That can, it can be a problem if all 10 of them, or like most of them, go on one single person. Then it pretty much, it's bad RNG, it kills you and the run is over. But if it doesn't and the hits are split, you should be able to survive it with a team like this. Obviously, from my point of view, when it comes to support, if you do have somebody like a Shinnah, he's gonna be the MVP of this fight, because he brings you attack penalty, he brings a ton of healing on the battle skill and on the ultimate. And if you do have the if you do have the staff, right, gatekeeper staff, because he does such a massive healing on the ultimate, he is the ideal wearer for that, right? Having that staff is gonna not only bring you a ton of healing, but also, like I said, he's gonna do on that ultimate, he's gonna do the perfect shield for everybody, right? So just watch this, okay? She starts doing that. Okay, we do get a few hits. Hopefully Garion doesn't die. And then, okay, he died. But look at the shields, right? Look at the huge shields that he can actually put up. And, it's pretty crazy. But keep in mind, for example, that my Garion died, but he's only level 90, right? In this team, he's not even 5-star. He's only level 90. Just the other ones are level 100. However, it seems like at 58, 60 million, I'm pretty much capped. The other thing that I could try and do, for example, is maybe have everybody timed after Felicity goes. So let's say we go like this, not after Felicity, after my Erich goes, and then maybe I also time the healing to happen before this, right? So I have the healing happen always at the same time, and maybe the shield after the healing happens. So healing is going on for 8 seconds, so 8 seconds minus 3, 5, Okay, let's say we do this at, let me see, 12 plus 3, 15. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here, even though maybe I should let Shinnah go randomly, I'm trying to time everything so that I have the Witch's Remains land on the boss before we do the hits, then also have the boost from the horn land at the same time, and see if I do a lot more damage. But pretty much it's a bit complicated. Like I said, it's a bit complicated because I do believe unless you have, like, you know, what's her name? Unless you have Flora, this might not be one of the priority teams that you build. Also keep in mind the fact that for this team, I also do have the... what's it called? For this team, I also have boosts right from the affinity solvent, because my main team, I guess the boost is the poison one for Vortex, and considering that I have that, it's still, you know what, it's still not enough damage, right? I expected to see, honestly, maybe I'm too greedy, or maybe I still need to tweak the team and still need to work a bit with it, but I was expecting to see something close to like 100 million, right? I was expecting that, but I guess I just cannot do this enough. I even had a team where I had 4 DPS in the team with Alfie instead of Garion, but I pretty much did the same, right? Because I don't have Flora, it's really difficult to try and hit that 100 million. So I might see if I do decide to settle this week for this damage, or I'm gonna be doing some testing to see if I can do more damage with maybe Ice Blast. But you do see that, for example, with this, I did manage to go over, right? I was at like 58, 57. Just having the right timings, I did manage to go a little bit over. Now, let me quickly show you again the presets. So, pretty much the way that you see that I have them here is Erich goes first because he has the Witch's Remains, right? Garion at the same time doing the healing. Then I leave a few seconds between Felicity and Tunnel Nun because I want to have the... I want to guarantee that Erich's hits land because they take like a second or two for all the 5 meteorites to hit before it happens. And that's why, you know, I leave a few seconds, whereas other people have instants, right? Now, when it comes to the builds, let me quickly show you the builds, I guess, as well. Let's start with Shinnah. So, I do have an Inspired 3 Shinnah, right? I'm lucky with that. And he has the Gatekeeper Staff. I do have the attack percent for this one, which gives her a higher chance to give, you know, better healing, which is massive. Gatekeeper Staff, and then obviously he's the perfect candidate for the Cyril's Whisper because he lands debuffs on the battle skin on the ultimate. He doesn't need accuracy for that, so that makes it just easy for him to always be putting that attack up. Then if we talk about Garen, I actually have him in, I just realized, I actually have him in Ancestral Protection. He's not level 90. He's pretty much all about that Enlightenment and HP, right? You're gonna see Enlightenment over here, Enlightenment over here, the Horn to give more damage to everybody else, and then as much survivability with Enlightenment as I can. The reason why I gave him Enlightenment is because his healing is based off target max HP, but also Enlightenment, right? So this is the only way that you can increase his healing, by giving him a bit more Enlightenment. Then we have Erich. He's running Witch's Remains with crit damage over here, obviously, accuracy over here, crit rate gloves. You want to get this for all of your DPS so you do more damage. And then here's the Shade of Death set. You can see his stats pretty low because, well, I needed the accuracy. And I think actually, now that I'm looking at it, the accuracy might be a bit lower. Let me see, do we need like 280? 280, yeah, so I think the accuracy is a bit lower. I just realized I might need a little bit more accuracy so that Erich consistently lands his defense penalty. So that might be a problem, because I saw sometimes it didn't land. Even with the 50 that you get from the Affinity Solvent, still 171, that's pretty low. So I need to boost that. Then I have Felicity. She's running an Emissary Whisper because, you know, it's the next best thing that I had. Again, still not the best stats, but crit damage over here, attack over here, and then I gave her the Chest of Radiance, right? She does do a lot of damage. She could do more damage maybe if I gave her a different artifact. However, from my point of view and from what I've tested in the previous seasons, Tunnel is the best damage dealer, right? So Tunnel does more than Erich, more than Felicity. Tunnel is the best one. Like, unless you have Flora, Tunnel is the best next DPS for Wild, right? So that's why Tunnel has these stats. Honestly, if I could lower the crit rate even more to get more crit damage, I would do it because, well, Tunnel gets 20 crit rate over here, which means that the base of 18 plus 20, that's 38. Plus, if we add another 30 from this one, because again, this one's something that gets boosted by Garen as well with that healing over time. That's another 30. So what's that? 18, 38, 68. So pretty much I only need plus 40, 68, 32 crit rate, right? That's all I need. Extra 32 crit rate, and pretty much Talon has 100%, and then I can ramp as much crit damage and attack as I can. But this is pretty much my team. Let me know in the comments down below what you're using for this team, how your numbers look, and if you enjoyed this video. And if you did it, please consider liking it, subscribing to the channel to see when I upload next, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace, love, take care, everyone. Bye guys.